All right. Let's discuss the elephant in the room. Right now, we're dealing with high interest rates, whether it's in the range of 7 to 8%, and this is the new reality right now. So, thanks to everyone who participated in it to get it to this point. The printing of all the money, I think we did a heck of a job to get here since we haven't been here in about 20 years. So, whether you're a potential home buyer, investor, homeowner looking to buy or sell, or just curious about the market trends, then this video is for you. Now, if you're new to me and this YouTube channel, we talk about everything you need to know about Raleigh, North Carolina. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out. But also, if you are thinking about relocating here to the area, just reach out. Before we get into speaking specifically what is happening in North Carolina, one thing I want to just touch upon, just because again, a lot of times when we're having these conversations about real estate, everyone, especially during the times we are now, how tough things are getting, where things are heading, the conversation, the media, the headlines, everything gets brought back to 2008. Now granted, I was not in real estate at the time. In fact, I couldn't even be in real estate at that point in time just because of my age. So that kind of just lets you guys know kind of where I sit in the spectrum of things. However, all the reading and everyone I've been listening to, all the experts been saying this time that we're in now is completely different from 2008. I mean, I've been diving into trying to get a feel of what is going on just to prepare myself. And so I want to be able to prepare you guys and give you guys a little bit more insight. Why are those two times differently and what's going on now? And possibly what can you even do to better put yourself in a better position? So let's time travel a bit and let's go back to 2008 so I can paint the picture of what was going on there. To start it off, there was about 25% of homes underwater, meaning you couldn't borrow against your home. And if you wanted to sell, there was a high possibility you were going to sell at a loss. And you tell me, who wants to sell any house and lose any sort of profit? And now let's put into the picture, if you couldn't sell anything, then you're not buying anything. You're just going to stay where you are. So essentially, everyone's hands were tied. Because looking at the market from a holistic view, it was structurally damaged from an equity standpoint. Because no one had equity and the home prices, or at least the home valuations, were declining. Now, let's revert to 2023, where we currently are today. People have more equity than ever, values are strong, and homes are appreciating. Literally, the quite opposite of what was happening during 2008. However, the only problem that exists today, the main problem, is interest rates. So speaking of interest rates, let's actually go see where we stand today with mortgage rates. So as I mentioned, let's go ahead and go to Mortgage News Daily to go see where we stand with mortgage rates. And we're going to just take a look today, just for simplicity, the 30-year fix, which would be a conventional, and you're looking at a 7.75. So let's go look at the long-term hold of it all, right? To see over the course of, let's do 5 years. You could see really what was going on. Not going to go through the specifics today because I just wanted to point it out what it is. And again, at least what it is for today. And just so you guys can have that, because there's no secret that rates suck right now. I mean, we all know it. Everyone is battling it. In fact, no one really wants to do anything. Only individuals that are really making a move or doing something are those who have to. Because, I mean, we all got spoiled in the past couple of years. I mean, geez, look at that. 2-3%. Everyone is pretty much sitting at a high, whoever bought down here. So most people are looking like, well, I won't buy here. That just doesn't logically make sense. Can you fault them? No. So a lot of individuals are sitting sidelined because of that reason. And many individuals are even considering waiting until mortgage rates come down. When is that going to happen? If I had the crystal ball, I would tell you guys right now. But I don't. So I don't know. There's a lot of conversations being said, and at least what I'm being told or being thrown at, it's a year or two from now. I mean, we can expect. And I put quotations around it for a reason, because we don't know. No one knows what is going to happen. Only person that really knows is our Federal Jerome Powell. He's probably the only one that really knows, because he is the one that's causing, I would say, for the most part, everything to be the way it is, to do what it's doing right now. And so the good question to really ask yourself is, if you're sitting on the sideline waiting for interest rates to come down, is at what percentage are you going to be comfortable with moving forward? Is it 7, 6, 5? Because all three of those, I know people who are waiting for literally 7, 6s, and 5s, or even lower, to wait for that, for them to get back into the market. So That's something that you should really consider and ask yourself, because that's going to determine a lot moving forward for you. Now you're probably wondering, well, why is that such significance to know when do you want to get back into the market? Because as I mentioned, a lot of people are sidelined doing the same exact thing. So you guessed it, as the rates become lower, the situation, the circumstances, the real estate market becomes a completely different ball game as soon as everything starts to decrease. Because then you start to say, more people start to say, well, I can afford again, or most people say, well, let's go ahead and buy since rates are so low. So that's why I said it's important for you to know where is it that you want to jump back into the market, because then you will have a better understanding and idea of what it is that you will be up faced against. And if you know what you're going to be up faced against, then you can prepare yourself properly. And if you're unsure of which route you should even take or what's going to be best for you and need a further evaluation, just give me a call, shoot me a text. You know how that all goes. And let's talk about what is it that you're looking to do so we can create a game plan around that. Because now I want to take you guys to see how is Wake County doing as a whole. So for those individuals who are looking to relocate to the area, this is a perfect time for you to really grab your pen, or at least just really focus in on what is going to be discussed here, because this is going to directly impact you and help you possibly create that game plan. But since I'm going over Wake County as a whole, I won't be doing, the specific areas. If you do want a specialized report on whatever area it is that you're looking to relocate to or even sell your home, just reach out to me with the area that you're specifically interested in receiving data, and I'll go ahead and get that over to you. But let's go ahead and talk about Wake County. And we're really going to focus here in this corner here. However, I do want to point out that this is only going to be for residentials, attached and detached homes in Wake County. And I really want to specify that just so everyone is well aware where the information, where the data is coming from, so you guys can make your plans on what is going on right now. So the first that we'll look at is new, which is new listings, active listings, and same thing with back on market. You can actually include that into the conversation just slightly, because both of these numbers do have an impact when it comes to inventory and the supply of the homes on the market. So for anybody that's looking as a buyer, these numbers rising is a good thing for you, because then you have more choices essentially, and that also may help you with the affordability aspect. However, as a seller, you're looking at this and you're like, I guess you don't want this number to really rise, because if that number does rise, what happens is you have more competition to sell your home, and obviously more competition means, your home may be on the market for a little bit longer. And so, as I mentioned, these two are in respect to inventory, what's really going on there. So if I go ahead and ask you guys this question, would you guys say that there's a lot of homes on the market right now, just in comparison to what you see there? And so I want to go ahead and move over to this. With that question in mind, is there still a lot of homes on the market with what you see? So let's just go back to a year before COVID, right? So right now, there's about there's 2.2, which means it's like 2 months left of inventory before we're in big trouble, before everyone's in big trouble. But if we go back to see, where was it prior to COVID, or that big old thing, right? So we're looking at over here, we're just about at those levels. So we still haven't peaked. We still haven't gotten above that, which is still a supply constraint. It's still an issue. It's not as big of an issue as it was when it's literally sitting down here with less than 1 month of inventory. However, it's one of those things where sitting still under COVID levels, again, I think everybody would have loved it, or I think everyone would love it. Maybe not sellers so much if this number was a little bit higher. Because then, again, that allows the market to be a little bit more balanced, a little bit more of what's normal. Right now, we're still in a place where anything can shake and break, and it can cause a lot of chaos. Let's just put it like that. And to add on to this, though, you may be thinking, well, why is it still this low? So let's put things in perspective really quickly. A lot of people bought. Let's go back to let's just go back to it real quick. A lot of people bought during this time, right? And a lot more people bought during this time. And a lot more people bought during this time, right? So a lot of people now have rates which are below 5%. So no one is really trying to sell just to deal with this reality for the most part. And logically speaking, it makes perfect sense. So a lot of individuals, what they're doing instead of selling, and they're just doing home improvements. They're, still getting their thing going. They're still doing their thing with their home, whether it's making it look like how they want or renovations. I don't know, whatever the whole gig looks like. That is what is happening right now. So a lot of people are sitting still because they don't want to deal with that reality, which is why this number here is going to continuously, in my personal opinion, I think this number is going to continuously be pushed down unless if something in the world happens where everything breaks and now we have bigger issues. But for the most part, this number here is going to be compressed for quite some time. Yes, there are builders building, but I think builders have a way of manipulating the market in a sense because they control how much they build. And so that's another problem that you can even think about. But let's go ahead and take a look at what has been pending and what has gone under the market or gone under contract, which states it right here. And this number specifically shows, you can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it. I should have been sharing it with you guys. It's pretty much 2,100. This number shows how many people are actually buying, how many people are actually looking at this market, interested. And something I really want to point out. So pending is much larger and more than new listings and how many people are new, just the supply in general, new active listings. Pending is more, which means there's still, as I mentioned, a lot more people looking to buy. A lot of people are like, hey, I'm going to wait for 7, 6, 5, or some people are just saying, hey, I don't care what's going on in the world. I got to do what I got to do. And that means I got to buy. So this here is a very big indicator in the past 30 days. What's been happening in Wake County in terms of demand. Demand is high. I'll just simply say that. So anybody that's a seller, that's a good thing for you. Anyone that's a buyer, that's not so much of a good thing for you because as a buyer, more people that's looking to buy, there's more competition, so on and so forth. You guys kind of get the gist from now. And then I want to be able to show you guys days on market. So because it doesn't show me here, we'll go back to here and we'll go pull it up right here. And you guys can see. So still relatively low. Let's just put it like that. Let's see if I could minimize it to a year so you guys can see by the case of each month what's really been happening, and it's still really low. And I actually did not do myself justice here because I didn't do Wake County, so that kind of screwed us up. So let's go back really quickly just so you guys can see Wake County. What's the supply at 1.8? Great. Let's go see really quickly. Is it still below? Let's go 5 years so you guys can see it. Still below. So everything still stands on what I said. I just now provide you with the correct up-to-date information that is in respect to what we're speaking on. Now let's go back to days on market because I screwed up just right there for you guys. I had to correct myself so you guys have the information. But we're still sitting really low when it comes to days on market. Again, that goes back to the demand aspect of things. People are still really looking really quickly. So it does help sellers, but at the same time, I will say seeing the days on market be 5, still low. It's still really low. I mean, you can look at an average of 16 or the median being 5. Let's go look. It's still going to be below what it was during the big old shebang. Still extremely low. So as a seller, this is still a good sign for you because people are still just really, I will say as a seller, just if you really need to get out of your house, please make your house, as pleasing, appealing looking as possible if you need to get out quick, because otherwise you may be stuck with holding the bag for quite some time. I don't know. So to sum things up, first let's talk about if you're looking to buy in this market. Yes, you're going to have to deal with interest rates. Nothing that we can all do. The only thing I would definitely say is you can either sit the sideline and wait, and you'll have two options. The interest rates will go up or they'll go down. And if it goes down, just know that more people will get into the market. That's just how it goes. If it goes up, your affordability just gets hurt even more. So you can essentially pick your poison, what you decide to do. I will also say you can also look into construction. I have a list of contacts that I can reach out to if you are interested in there. Right now, I will say new construction is having a little bit more favorable terms for buyers. So that is something that you can also look into. If you don't know where to look, just reach out to me. Give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember, I got your back in this market, and we can discuss what options are even readily available to you at that moment. Now, if you're thinking about selling, please keep in mind that your home may be on the market a little bit longer than it previously was in those crazy times that we were just experiencing. So that's something to keep in mind. And if you wanted to get off the market relatively quick, yes, the demand is high in the Wake County area, but you also still want to make sure that your home is attractive, right? Appealing to the buyers that are going to be looking. Therefore, you can go ahead and hopefully get your home sold a lot quicker than you even anticipated. Because at the moment, you can't really compete with new construction, and you don't want that new inventory to really come on the market to diminish your opportunities and your ability to get your home under contract, to get sold, to move on to whatever destination you're going next. One thing I forgot to mention for anyone who's thinking about buying but looking at interest rates and is like, you know what, that is not my friend right now. You can always buy and possibly refinance later. I will throw this in there. Here's a cool tip that I've learned. You really want to refinance when you're about 1.5% to 2% that you're shaving off, because then it makes it worth it. Because if you do it anytime before then you'll just be essentially, because it costs money to close when you refinance again. So that's something to keep in mind. When you decide to do it, how you decide to do it, all up to you. But I just wanted to let you guys know that even if interest rate is a big barrier right now, but you still can't afford what is going on in the market right now, maybe you go lock something in, maybe get a little bit incentives, or maybe you get a little bit extra that you probably wouldn't have gone 3 years ago. You probably wouldn't have gotten 3 years ago, and you lock that in right now to then maybe refinance later. But after hearing my perspective, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on the market as a whole. Let me know in the comments below, what are you doing during this real estate market? And as I mentioned earlier, this was a very broad overview. So if you're looking for a specific area for me to discuss, or you want more information on a specific area, just reach out to me. Let me know which area it is that you're looking at to maybe buy or sell or invest in, and I'll provide you with that information so that you can go ahead and make your informed decision. And if it's not you, if you found value in this video, make sure to share it with someone else who you may know who's thinking about moving over here to the Wake County area, so that they have the information to make an informed decision as well. But just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you guys, my name is Roney Polynice, and I am a licensed realtor here in North Carolina. So you see that number that is popping up right there. Make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market.